For 25 years, there ain't been another soul found, then or now, that's seen Larry.
What does Mary Ann think happened to Larry?
Meet the wife and suspected murderer of Larry Richard Hughes, 72-year-old Mary Ann. Nearly 25 years ago, Larry went missing from their remote home, miles away from where anyone could have ever found him, only to be found dead and left to disappear in a landfill.
Was a corner for a second. He's got two. You got any idea, Miss Hughes, how he wound up there at that dump?
I do not.
For all that time, Mary hid in plain sight, helping officers solve Larry's murder, pretending to be a grieving wife. But as her past catches up,
Everybody passed Father Pat, except you. You failed it twice.
Mary's 2-decade-long murder plot will come crumbling down.
And I'm about through talking to y'all because I did not kill my husband, and I'm done.
It's March 29th, 1990, in the small town of Pulaski, Tennessee, and 43-year-old Mary Ann Hughes calls police to report her husband Larry missing. She hasn't seen him since the previous morning, when she left their farmhouse for the hardware store he owns and both of them work. But when she called home around 12 p.m., there was no answer, and when she returned later that afternoon, Larry, along with his .22 caliber pistol, was gone. Now police need to know, did he run away on his own, or is foul play involved? Larry's a beloved member of the community and has no enemies to speak of, but Mary Ann has a different theory, that her husband ran off with another woman. Yet police find no evidence of this mystery affair, and it's not long before Larry's daughter begins an investigation of her own and drops a major lead right in detectives' laps, because she notices some serious inconsistencies at the scene, including her father's wallet, keys, watch, and ring left behind in a bathroom drawer. Considering creature of habit Larry never leaves home without them, it's then that she knows something is horribly wrong. And days later, Mary Ann's neighbors call police to report a concerning incident. She's seen dragging a mattress outside her house, slicing it open and then burning it. But when police ask her why, she says it was a symbolic act, done out of anger over Larry's alleged affair. They take what they can of the mattress as evidence, and the investigation continues. But 16 days after the disappearance, 2 kids playing on a country road make a chilling discovery: the body of Larry Hughes. He'd been shot twice. Despite several promising leads in the coming months, the investigation hits a dead end, and as months turn into years, and years into decades, Larry's family begins to lose hope. But in 2016, 26 years later, investigators re-examining cold cases zero in on several key facts about Larry, ones that turn this case from ice cold to red hot. After talking to Larry's daughter, they learn of her long-standing suspicion of her stepmother's involvement in her dad's death. And despite how perfect their marriage seemed, the suspected motive was as old as time: money. Because Larry had a $100,000 life insurance policy, one Mary Ann thought was going to her. But when she learned a majority of it was meant to pay off the business, it didn't stop her from blowing the rest on clothes and cars. And even though a majority of the evidence is lost to time, the contents of the mattress have survived. So as they wait for DNA results, and with everything pointing in Mary Ann's direction, she's brought in for questioning on January 26, 2015, nearly 25 years after her husband's death.
I want to thank y'all for opening up this case again.
All right. Like I told you on the phone, the district attorney, Brent Cooper, come in the office, and he's one of his things was looking at cold case homicides.
Right.
So he asked for us to do this one. Of course, Shane works for Giles County Sheriff's Department, and was somewhat familiar with it. And then I reviewed it, and I've gone through the files. And we talked to a couple of people, and we talked.
Come up with anything?
Well, we talked to the lab about some evidence. A lot of technology's changed a lot in 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we need to do with you, Miss Hughes, is go back through the night before and the night of, and the day of, the next day, and the following days, and make sure that we understand
What was what?
Right. Now, we may stop you from time to time and ask you something particular about what you said, and Don't make anything of that. Let's just make sure that we got what we need.
Okay,
Okay? Because our goal here is to solve the homicide.
exactly.
Okay? But it's been almost 25 years.
I know, trust me, I know.
You got grandkids?
I have 6 grandkids and 4 great-grandkids.
Oh my gosh, okay. 6 grandkids.
Miss, you tell me the last time you talked to the police about this case.
Oh my God. No. I can't tell you the last time. It's been a long time ago. The FBI was the last person I talked to. And I don't know his name, or don't remember his name.
Do you remember what? Did the police share any information with you?
Very little.
What did they share with you?
The fact that Larry was dead. I mean, everything I had to beg and plead. I even had to call the coroner's office to get a copy of the coroner report, you know. They didn't share anything with me.
How long did you and Larry be married?
17 years.
Wow. When did y'all get married? You know, that date?
February 20th, 73, I believe.
How was that marriage?
It was good.
Was it good?
We just got to the point where kids was gone. You know, everything it was good.
To outside observers, Larry and Mary Ann seemed to have a happy and stable marriage. And while this helped Mary Ann avoid suspicion early on, friends and family would later note that things weren't as perfect as they appeared. There were fights over the farm and business, accusations of infidelity, and a boiling tension in the home that seemed to be simmering for some time. Whether it spilled over into murder is yet to be proven, but Mary Ann won't do herself any favors in shaking off suspicion with some of the statements she's about to make.
All right, so that morning, Wednesday morning, y'all were drinking coffee, what have you, and then you leave to go to work.
Yes, sir.
You work at Abernathy.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is he off every Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. I went in because Bob asked me to come in and work the floor where he could put some stuff on the computer.
So do you normally work Wednesdays?
No.
Is that did you work the Wednesday before that?
No.
Did you work the Wednesday after that?
No.
That's the only Wednesday you work. All right, so you go to work, you know what time it is?
I didn't even drive to work. I went to work with the boy that lived up the road, Jeff. I rode to work with him and left Larry the car because his truck was at the shop.
Good. Did you have to call Jeff to give you a ride? Was that already prearranged? How was that?
I just called him, I guess.
So you go to work, and did you plan on seeing or hear from Larry that day?
I tried calling him several times, but he never did answer.
What time did you try to start calling? You know?
About 10 o'clock, and then 11, 12, 1, 2.
Did anybody ever come by the store or call the store or ask him where he was that day?
No. Because that was his normal day off, you know. I wasn't supposed to be there either.
So then, I'm just going through this, and he may back me up or he may back up. So you start trying to call him, you don't get any answer. That worry you that you couldn't get a hold of him? Did you or Larry, I don't even know, this was 1990, were there cell phones in 1990?
No. Just a house phone.
Is the phone garage where he could hear if it wrong? So he could have been out in the garage working, fiddling with his mules. How'd you get home that evening?
Yeah,
What time did you get off?
5.
Got off at 5? You off 5 every day?
I think it was 5, 4:30 at 5. I think it was 5 though. I think we closed at 5.
And you come home,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me about it when you got home. Tell me what happened.
He wasn't there. Larry wasn't there. The car was there, but Larry wasn't there.
What about the house? What the house look like?
Didn't look like nothing had been touched.
Did you make the bed before you left that morning?
No. It's still
Still not, still wasn't made? Any evidence that he had anything to eat?
might have been a plate in the sink, but other than that, no.
While all these questions about Larry's meals may seem strange, there's a very good reason why detectives are so interested in what he ate. Because during an autopsy, it was determined his last meal was chicken, salad, and peaches, and based on the time of digestion, he'd likely been killed just a few hours later. This completely disproves Mary Ann's claims of having coffee with him the next morning, and she's about to be confronted about another inconsistency, those personal items of Larry's left behind.
What about, like, did he wear rings and jewelry and necklaces and stuff like that?
The only thing he wore was a wedding ring.
Wedding ring. Was that anywhere in the house?
I don't know.
Did you ever find it?
I don't remember. I don't know.
What about a wallet or anything like
He had a
that?
wallet. I didn't find his wallet.
You wear a watch?
He did wear a watch.
Did you find his watch?
Mm-hmm.
Where was it at?
On dresser.
Dresser in the bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
So we usually lay the stuff out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Little thing there that he put it in.
Did
His
he,
watch was laying there. His wallet wasn't.
I didn't see his wallet on. I didn't find his wallet.
What about change, pocket change?
I don't remember that.
did he typically take that off at night before he go to bed?
His watch.
His watch and his ring?
Not his ring. He never took his ring off.
So what'd you do? You come home, he's not there. Tell me what you did.
Well, I started calling people to see if they had seen him. I don't remember how many people I called. I went into a panic mode.
Sure.
And then I don't remember everything I did.
I understand it's been 25 years. Tell me what you can remember.
That's about it. And I got in the car and took off and see if I could find him
Okay.
somewhere, anywhere. But I never did.
All right. Did you go by anybody's house or did you just ride and look? Did you go anywhere in particular?
Just riding and looking.
All right, you riding, you're looking, you can't find them. What do? You remember?
Go back home.
Go back home? Did you go to your brother's?
Oh, yeah. My brother was with me.
Okay.
I did go by his house, and we rode around the mines and out in there for a little bit.
Now, where's the mines at? What is the mine?
It's out Pigeon Roost, right out in there, to see if I don't know, I had a suspicion Larry might have been cheating on me.
You had a suspicion he was?
I had a suspicion he was, yeah.
You didn't know it for sure.
Nope.
You know who he was cheating with or who you suspected he was cheating
One
with?
of his old girlfriends from school, I can't think of her name. I'm bad about names.
So you report him missing.
Mm-hmm.
And you report that he's wearing blue jeans and a blue flannel shirt.
I don't remember that. I said that.
Blue jeans and a blue plaid flannel shirt and black joggers.
I don't remember that.
And the keys. Keys to his car, truck, house, and store were missing. Kept them on a ring. You said stayed on a clip on his belt.
Oh, my.
You don't remember that?
Uh-uh.
Okay. and he reported missing a gun, 22 caliber revolver, what I refer to as revolver. Has a cylinder in it that flaps out, push back.
I don't know much about guns.
Okay.
Is that the only thing missing in the house?
Or the gun.
Did y'all have other guns in the house? Because he coon hunted a lot, didn't
He did, and he deer hunted too, and he rabbit hunted. Yeah, we had other guns in the house.
But the 22's missing.
Mm-hmm.
What made you look for to see if that gun's missing? Where is it kept at? Let's start right there.
He got to where he was keeping it out in the shop. Larry had got real paranoid. He had changed the locks on the house. He didn't want the kids to have the key. But he had got real paranoid about the house and everything. I don't know what it was about, never did find out.
So he had been to where he was keeping the gun. Where's the last time? Do you remember the last place you seen that?
Out in the shop last time I saw it.
And so, but when you reported him missing, you knew the gun was gone too.
Well, I looked for it.
So the gun's missing and Larry's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't recall saying he was wearing blue jeans and a blue plaid?
I don't recall that.
Okay.
I can't even remember what he had on that morning. Really. He had on jogger shorts, I guess that's what he had on. That makes sense, though.
Mary Ann tries her best to blame her inconsistent statements on the passage of time, but as they pile up, it becomes more and more obvious she's hiding something. So as the conversation moves to the day Larry's body was found, the lack of emotion she shows speaks volumes about her real feelings. And a bombshell revelation is soon dropped that kicks this interview's confrontations into high gear.
So then, time rolls along, 16 days passes. And Larry's body's found. Do you know where he's found?
They told me Gunner Ridge Road.
Do you know how it was found?
No. Well, nothing except what the coroner's report said.
What the coroner's report say?
It was saying
That's true. And he's got 2 gunshot wounds. One right here, right behind and above his right ear. And then one back to head. One back to head traveling forward. And one some ears traveling forward and then go to the back. Actually going across to the back. Neither bullet exits in his head. And wrapped around his neck is what I'm going to refer to as baling twine, about 2 feet of it.
really.
A lot of evidence was collected back then. They collected all the evidence that was in his place. I mean, on his body. As far as the twine, bullets from his head was taken during the autopsy. They recovered some twine at your house under the kitchen sink, baling twine. They sent that to the lab. And then they recovered, they went out where he target shot there on the place, and they recovered 3 bullets that were 22 caliber. And then all that sent to the lab. And lab reports that we have say that the twine from under the kitchen sink and twine on his neck are the same. Same twine. Same color, same thread, same twists, same all that mess. The bullets that were recovered out there on his place where he shot, target practice, matched the bullets that are in his head. Which will tell you
His gun killed him?
his gun killed him. And he's found naked, no clothes.
That's what I thought.
No shoes, no socks, no underwear, no shirt, no pants, no nothing.
No jewelry.
No jewelry, no watch, no ring, no nothing. Naked as the day he came into this world. Is how he was found. Nothing other than twine around his neck. Now, you got any idea, Miss Hughes, how he wound up after that dump? 2 bullets from his gun in his head?
I do not.
Oh, you know Rex.
My brother.
Do you know Elmer?
I do.
Is he still living?
No.
Have you seen the statements that he's given?
No. I didn't know he gave one.
You know Wayne?
Yeah.
You know the statement that he's given?
No.
Statement's been given to the police back then that about 3 o'clock in the morning, a vehicle was seen at your house. And the porch light comes on for about 3 seconds and it goes off.
At my house?
That morning, Wednesday morning. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. At 7 a.m., there's a call to your house. There's no answer. 10 a.m., there's a call to your house and there's no answer. Shortly after 10, someone goes to your home. There's nobody there. And then this person says, they called to go to, went there to see you, to see where Larry was. Remember anybody coming up there?
I don't remember.
You recall anybody being at your house at 3 o'clock in the morning?
No.
You recall anybody turn the porch light on?
No. Unless Larry got up and done it.
There's been throughout this file, there's been mention about your at your house. Some on the bathroom. You tell her, Shane.
Toothpaste, the back door or the bathroom door. And then there was a door going out to the garage or the carport area.
You remember any of that?
The only thing I know is when Larry cut his finger one time, he got some stuff.
How
I don't remember.
do you remember how much? I mean, do you remember when he cut his finger compared to when he cut missing?
He had one hand though.
Right, his right hand.
And he was bad about it, using it to do whatever with it. And yet it would bleed sometimes.
While in high school, Larry was a star basketball player and local hero, although his career was cut short while working in a grocery store meat department when his hand was severed in a meat grinder during a horrific accident. But even though he didn't let it hold him back in life, it would ironically be this distinguishing feature that helped police identify his body so easily. So even though Mary Ann's been lucky till now, her lies are finally catching up to her. And while there may not have been enough evidence to make an arrest in 1990, all of that's slowly beginning to change.
Well, to be honest with you, Miss Hughes, I seen in your statement where you said he cut his hand. So I went back to the autopsy report.
Mm-hmm.
The autopsy report's pretty thorough.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about every piece of your body. You've seen it, you've read it. And there's nothing wrong with this amputated hand. There's nothing wrong with his right hand, meaning there's no cuts, abrasions, or bruises. There was a note.
Well, I don't remember anything else.
To this file, several people were given polygraph tests.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in your family.
Mm-hmm.
I think you took polygraph twice.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody passed polygraph except you. You failed it twice.
I know. I don't know.
I'm just reading the report. I'll read it to you. I got anything to hide from you. So Mary Ann Hughes answered to questions 3, 5, 7, and 7A, and number 11 in the negative. And to the question number 12 in the affirmative. She was given 2 complete polygraph tests, and after careful evaluation of the test charts, it is of the opinion of this examiner that she displayed specific responses that will be indicative of deception. Signed, whatever his name was, special agent. And then you were given another one. Let's see if I can find it. I believe by the FBI gave you a polygraph.
Mm-hmm.
And
They put me in a little room that was cold. It was about 40 degrees, and it was just like this.
they gave Jeffrey one too. Again, Jeffrey passed the polygraph and you failed the polygraph. On 2 occasions, you didn't pass polygraph.
Did he have life insurance?
He had $15,000 for double indemnity, paid $30,000. But it took all of that to settle the estate. Took 2 years to settle the estate.
What about what was the Crown Life Insurance? It was a $100,000 policy.
I went to Robert.
That went to Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he get that?
Because he had the note on the store.
It took all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that money go to?
Pay on the note,
Note on.
the farm equipment, cattle.
So he just basically paid it off.
Pretty much, yeah, I guess.
So what you're telling me here right now is that you didn't get anything from Larry?
Well, yeah, I got a little bit, but, by the time the lawyer's fees don't come out of it, it was very little.
How much did you get for the lawyer's fees?
$30,000.
And how much did you have to pay your lawyer?
I can't tell you. It was an ongoing thing for almost 2 years.
Why did it take 2 years to settle it?
I also had to pay the kids off.
Kids, I mean,
All 4 of them. Well, 3 of them. Actually paid for them. They had to have their part of the estate. Each one of them got $5,000 something dollars. Larry was worth a whole lot more than being alive and he's dead.
so basically you didn't have anything, hardly, once you paid lawyers and once you paid the kids off. Had Larry ever been abusive to you?
No.
Never put his hand on you, never touched you?
He could get a little smart sometimes.
Be a smart ass,
Sometimes. He could be real smart.
very stern,
Sort of.
pretty much his way or the highway.
Well, no, he was comparable. I mean, he could compromise, but he was pretty opinionated.
Yes, ma'am. Like most men were. I understand that.
He had a few enemies.
Did you call anybody that night and tell them anything about Larry? Do you remember calling your brother and telling him that Larry's acting crazy again tonight?
Mm-mm.
He's up to his old ways?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember saying that?
Mm-mm. Did I say that?
Well, Rex is your brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that was a statement that was made, that you called Rex and, hang on, I'll tell you exactly what you
Oh,
said.
I might have said that when I went to pick him up and we rode around. I don't know. I don't remember saying that.
What would make you say that?
It's more to do with the paranoia that he was having, I think.
Called your brother and that Tuesday night and told him that Larry's acting up again. I guess when somebody would tell me that, I would think that they're acting up again. They're being physical with you.
Oh,
Or they're
no, he
being
never
verbal.
was physical with me. I wanted to do one marriage like that, and I said, no more.
While Mary Ann denies any involvement in her husband's death, she seems to offer no alternative theory as to what may have happened. But what she does have is her theory about his affair. which she claims to have direct evidence of, and straight from Larry himself.
When did you find out, or what made you start believing that he was having an affair with this?
Oh,
Did he ever come out and tell you?
at the end he did.
At the end of his life, or at the end of his affair?
At the end
I
of
want you
the
to qualify.
affair.
I want you to qualify that.
At the end of the affair.
When did that end?
Oh, about a few months before.
So around January or so.
I guess.
What made him disclose to you
Because I faced him with it.
that? How did that conversation go?
I asked him if he was, because a woman has a feeling about a man.
Absolutely. Right. I understand
And
that.
he admitted it. And then I said, well, it's either, you stop it or I'm gone.
Yes, ma'am.
And then everything was all right after that.
So he told you he would stop it.
Mm-hmm. He did stop it.
Are you sure of that?
Well, no.
Okay.
Can't be sure about anything.
Right. Did y'all ever discuss about divorce?
Mm-hmm.
How we're in that time frame?
About the time of the affair.
Okay.
That's what I told him,
Right.
if you're going to do this, we're going to do this,
Yes,
and I'm
ma'am.
going to get half.
Right. Yes, ma'am. But it didn't sound like he had anything, just to be honest with you.
I'm looking at your statements that you gave on March 31st, 1990. This is during the time that Larry was missing but had not been found. And you were present. I think Dean was there with you during this interview. And they asked, I'm going to start in the part where you're with your brother and you're riding around the mines. You're telling me you're riding around the mines, so forth, so on. And they said, have you ever known your husband to be with anyone out there? And you said, I've never known him to. No. What time did you get back in? I did not come back to the house. I ended up spending the night out at my brother's home. I called down there several times and no answer, so I ended up staying the night out there.
Maybe I did.
And I came into work at 7 Thursday morning. So in 1990, you said you stayed with your brother. And another part of your statement that bothers me is that they're asking you about your brother, about Tim, and you're talking about he was in Birmingham. He does not have any association 3 years. What was their problem? He said they kind of rubbed each other the wrong way. Barry wanted to be a dominating figure. Tim rebelled against that, not father. Have you and your husband become physically violent with each other? You answered no. Did you leave for a period of time in the past? I left for about 3 days. About 2 months ago, we went to my brother's and stayed when we were having some problems.
That was right. I did do that. I just you jogged my memory.
Story asks, can you tell me what those problems were about? You answered. Hughes answered. Larry was, then you correct yourself, you say is, the type of person that he likes to be dominating. You referred to Larry as in the past tense. You said Larry was. Larry hadn't been found dead, but you referred to him as being dead.
I don't know.
You said Larry was, then you corrected yourself immediately. You said Larry was, and you correct yourself and says is the type of person that he likes to be dominating.
So let me get this right. When generally when he left the house, he would have his wedding band on, his watch that he wore on his left hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his wallet. Did he have a wallet or a money clip?
I had a wallet.
any kind of other necklace, anything like that. What, so when he would leave the house, he would always have that on.
I reckon.
What about the watch and the ring, his wedding band? Where was it located at? Was it still there in the bedroom when you come home that Wednesday and he was missing? Where did you find it at?
It must have been, because I did find it.
You don't know where it was at, though?
I don't remember exactly where it was at. I think it was in that little thing on the dresser.
The dresser is in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone but Mary Ann knows, it was actually Larry's daughter who found these items, and in the bathroom drawer, not the bedroom. But considering all the random information she can remember, this is certainly a surprising fact to get wrong. Fortunately for police, they have transcripts of the original interviews at their disposal, and they have some follow-up questions nearly 26 years in the making.
In your statement, again on March 31st, 1990, you said, they're asking you,
Who was I talking to?
you were talking to the Chapman, I believe, man. I'll make sure of that.
Yep, that's right.
Yep, the story's the one that's asking me the question. Dean was present.
They come to the house. I don't know if it was that day or not, but they come to the house.
Okay, it says, okay, what time did you call Dean? So it says, no, you say, no, sir. Okay, and you guys did not find any footprints or anything. They're asking you about searching around the house. And you say, no, sir, we did not. And that is when I decided there was something really wrong. So I called Dean and told him that Larry's missing and that I was fixing to go turn in a missing person on him. Okay, what time did you call Dean? Dean, what time was it? Dean says it was about 10 minutes to 11 o'clock because I left work at 11. Story. And I believe it says it was 7 minutes after noon that you made a report to our office. What did you do between the time you called Dean and the time you called us? You said, I got me a few clothes because I did not know where I was going to be or what was going to take place or what I needed to do or whatever. The kids were still here. I gave them time to leave, and I told Dean that it would be about 30 or 40 minutes before I could meet him up there because it takes me, like I said, about 25 minutes to drive, and I guess that is all I did. My other son come down too, but he did not help with the looking. His name is Jeffrey. So I gave them time to get gone and everything before I went to town. My question is why did you get clothes again? Why didn't you get you some clothes again?
I don't know. I just know that after all this took place, I wouldn't stay with my mama. After all was said and done, you know. I mean, that was after he was buried and everything.
Yeah, this is before his fate.
I don't know.
What do you think? Obviously, Larry's been murdered, but we can all agree on that. But what does Mary Ann think happened to Larry?
Well, I don't know. Other than that, I don't know.
Let me ask you this: what would you want to happen to the person that murdered Larry?
I think they should pay for their crime.
Being how? How do you think they should pay for it?
Go to jail or whatever.
Or how long?
I don't know.
Kind of depends on the situation, don't it? Kind of what happened.
I guess.
You know what I mean? You know, I don't ever want to say there's a homicide justified, but sometimes there's reasons that we may or may not know that causes to push one to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's always another way to work out your problems.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't.
Tell us about the mattress that you had taken out
I
of the house.
tore it up.
You tore it up.
I did.
Tell me what?
I got mad because I thought he had had that woman in my house. And he hadn't, but I thought he had. And I hated that bed. I really hated that bed. So I tore it up.
How'd you tear it up?
Took a pair of scissors and cut the cover off of it.
What'd I do with the mattress?
I guess it was burned. I don't know.
You never burn it?
I
Did you burn it?
don't remember. I
Now, if you hated that mattress so bad,
probably burned it.
you probably burned it yourself.
Yeah.
That's more like it. What about you said you cut the cover off of it? What about the stuff that goes in it?
The springs and stuff.
Well, yeah, all that.
I put some of it in a doghouse out there till I could get time to burn it.
Okay.
I burnt part of it.
Did you? Just the cover part?
Well, all of it. I mean, the couldn't burn the springs. It had
Okay.
springs in
You
it.
said you put part of it in the doghouse so you could burn it. What part did you put in there?
The stuffing's in there.
Just nothing. Okay. Did they enjoy that? The dogs?
There were no dogs in it at the
Oh,
time. It was just a doghouse that's out there that you carry on the truck.
Oh, okay. Like a kennel box.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
While Mary Ann puts up a nice front, detectives' mention of the mattress causes the first crack in her facade. Whether she crumbles into a complete confession is still anyone's guess, but the confrontation to come will only knock her even more off balance.
We need to go over what we know right now. Sitting here today, you and Larry get up Wednesday morning, and this is a Wednesday that you got to work. Of all Wednesdays, this Wednesday. So you
That
go
was
to
my
work.
dog, the one that made me come to work.
So you go to work, and Larry comes in this.
Mhm.
Not seen or heard from anyone. Nobody. Zilch. No one. And then 16 days pass. Larry's found. When he came into this world. No socks, no shoes, no pants, no underwear, no shorts, no shirt, no jewelry. And 2 bullet holes in the head. One right here, behind the right ear. And then one in the back of the head. Turns out, this 22 caliber revolver that's missing is the murder weapon. So you sit here today with me, and Shane, and you as being the last person to see Larry alive.
I don't know if that's the true.
Last person that we can say this. Last person we know that's seen him alive.
Okay.
For 25 years, ain't been another soul found, then or now, that's seen Larry. At all. We know that somebody went to his house at 7 o'clock in the morning, he wasn't there. Or called him, excuse me. Nobody answered. They called again at 10, nobody answered. They went down there at dinner, nobody was there. But we do know there's a witness that says there's a car that backs into your driveway, and the porch light comes on, stays on about 3 seconds, and goes off. At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Around 3 a.m. that morning, a neighbor reported seeing a light turn on, and then a truck back onto Larry and Mary Ann's property. While it's never proven, authorities believe it was being driven by Mary Ann's brother, Rex Bailey, and the calls from the home earlier that evening were between the two. Considering Larry's height and weight, it's highly likely a woman her size would have needed help moving his body. Did a loyal brother with a pickup truck turn out to be the perfect partner in crime? Unfortunately for Mary Ann, it soon won't matter, because autopsy reports always override witness testimony, and the contents of Larry's stomach doesn't back up her story at all.
The doctor says that Larry's probably been dead since the time he was reported missing.
Really?
we're gonna have to, I'm sitting here as a seasoned investigator. Been doing this for 34 years. I've been policing longer than Larry's been dead. And him not being seen or heard from anyone since the morning you left him, you got to figure something out with Larry that day, that morning, or that night. But the autopsy report says the esophagus is unremarkable. The stomach has tan mucus, exhibits normal rule pattern, and contains 550 cc's of brown mush was contained in tomato, white meat, chicken, green leafy vegetable, onion, and peaches in his body, in his stomach. Takes 8 hours for the food to become unrecognizable. So, figure he ate at Athens that night. You're home at 7. 3 o'clock in the morning, it's 8 hours. He's dead before his stomach could digest what's in his, can completely do away with the food in his gut. That's the reason they do autopsy. They see what's in the stomach. That helps investigators. Not so much back then as it does now, but what he had for his last meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, Miss Hughes, something happened after you and him come home that night. So if he's in bed, nothing on, naked, and he's laying on his left side of his back view, that he could expose his right side of his ear right here.
I did not kill my husband.
Explain to me what the baling wire around his head, his neck, matches the baling wire that's on the kitchen
I
sink.
do not know.
Larry's a big old boy.
Yes, he is.
6'4", 270 pounds, according to the autopsy. 265. If Larry didn't want to go, Larry ain't gonna go. He's gonna tear something up getting out that door.
I don't know what you're saying.
Meaning that nobody took him against his will
No, he must have went willingly.
or was dead. His hands are not bound. His hands are not bound. There's no evidence that his hands were ever bound. You got a witness. Sees a vehicle at the driveway. In the driveway, the porch light come on at 3 o'clock in the morning. The same witness tells us that this is the first Wednesday in 2 years you ever worked. Ain't seen another soul come and go from that house after you left to go to work, after Jeff picked you up that morning. I see anybody come and go. Concerned about what he's seen earlier that morning, he calls at 7 o'clock. Don't get an answer. You only been gone 30 minutes. No answer. Calls back, no answer. Goes down there, can't find nobody.
I don't know. I did not kill my husband.
Do you understand that when that was in his happy days, wasn't it? Do you know how they found Larry? You never seen him. That's the way they found Larry. Run away like trash. He deserves for somebody to step up and give him a proper burial so that he can be at peace.
I didn't ever see the body after they brought it in.
That's horrific.
Shot twice with his own gun. Rope around his neck. Jaybird.
25 years is a long time to eat at somebody. To eat at somebody. Well, you know what doesn't make sense out of all this to me? Out of everything that you said today, is the key thing is about the mattress. If you had an issue about the mattress when he was having an affair with you would have disposed of it back in January. Now you wait till the week that he's missing till you dispose of it. You cut the bedding part off of it and you burn him first. You know why? Because that's what's covered up.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
What were you gonna tell Larry if Larry come walk in the door about your mattress?
That I destroyed it. He knowed I hated that mattress.
He knows you hated the mattress.
Yes, he did. He knowed I hated it. I hated it from the day he brought it home.
Well, really, you hated it because you thought that he had an affair there in the house.
It was a water bed with a mattress on it. He took the water bed off and just put the mattress down on it.
Because you thought he had an affair. That's why.
And I'm about through talking to y'all because I did not kill my husband, and I'm done.
Well, let me ask you one more thing for you, lady. Technology's gotten a whole lot better in 25 years. You'd be willing to take a voice analysis test to see if you're telling us the truth now?
A voice analysis test.
It's a voice analysis stress test.
No, I'm not taking no more tests.
Okay. I mean, it's your husband.
I know it's my husband, and I know I didn't kill him.
Well, you know that, but I don't.
So, am I through?
Yes, ma'am. You walk out that door anytime you want. Just know that, you turn your back on your husband. You didn't do it. You need to stand up and say you didn't do it. Do whatever it takes to prove you didn't do it.
I tried that.
Oh, man. I've only met you today. You walking out on me. Remember that, Miss Hughes. What do you think?
I got her.
While Mary Ann was free to leave that day, it wasn't long before detectives were once again knocking on her door. Because after the DNA from the mattress returned as male, Larry's body was exhumed and tested positive as a perfect match. Not only that, investigators tore up the carpet at the couple's former home, only to find bloodstains that luminol lit up like a Christmas tree. Prosecutors believe that Mary Ann shot Larry twice, likely while he was sleeping, and then called her brother Rex, who helped her dispose of the body. But due to the age of the case and lack of physical evidence, they decided to pursue a plea deal. And while Mary Ann was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, her sentence would outrage Larry's surviving family. Nearly 26 years after her husband's murder, Mary Ann Hughes was sentenced to time already served, plus 10 years probation. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.